Are you aware of what happens around you while you sleep? We all toss, turn, and even talk in our sleep from time to time. But what if you started waking up with mysterious bruises and had no idea how they got there? This is exactly what happened to one girl, leaving her parents increasingly worried and baffled. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. A couple in Ohio had no way of preparing for what would soon unfold inside their home in the middle of the night while they slept. Unsettling noises echoed through the house. At first, they brushed them off, thinking nothing of it, until something happened that changed everything. Ronald initially suspected his girlfriend Emma of playing a prank when he first heard the strange sounds. However, after she denied any involvement, they decided to install a camera to uncover the truth. What they captured was deeply unsettling and shook them to their core. The footage revealed that the noises were coming from their daughter Rachel's room. Ronald became convinced that these disturbances were connected to the mysterious marks appearing on Rachel's legs. Ronald set up a camera in Rachel's room, letting it record overnight to gather evidence. The next day, he was eager to uncover the truth. But what he saw left him completely speechless for the past year. The family of 3 had been living in Ronald's mother's guest house. He had originally moved in to care for his mother after his father's passing, never anticipating the chilling discovery that awaited him. However, as time passed, the family grew accustomed to their living situation and found it convenient. But recently, Ronald had noticed strange occurrences happening in the home. What they would find would make them want to leave immediately. The symptoms started appearing when young Rachel would come down for breakfast, and Ronald would see bruises on her legs. He didn't think too much of it. At first, kids bump and bruise themselves all the time, but when new sets of bruises would appear where the last ones healed, he knew something was very wrong. It's only natural to worry about your children. Any parent will tell you that Ronald cared a lot for his daughter and only wanted what was best for her well-being. Rachel had always struggled with her parents' separation. Ronald always felt guilty about the effects it had on her development. When Ronald first started getting serious with his girlfriend Emma, he knew he wouldn't forget about his daughter. Ronald looked after the needs of his daughter very closely, and because of it, the two had a very close bond. But Rachel began changing when Ronald met Emma, and she moved in with them. Ronald was always open with Rachel and told her she could tell them anything. But throughout the year, she had become quieter, a lot quieter. Ronald assumed it was because of her growing up and getting into her teenage years, but things only kept escalating as time went on with Emma living with them. Ronald noticed that the life was being sucked out of his daughter. He didn't understand why he was worried that she spent too much time locked up in her room like herself. Ronald was worried about her being sucked into social media. He had heard stories about that kind of stuff. But little did he know her social media pages were the least of his worries. Ronald decided to ask Rachel about her change in behavior. She told him that she didn't like the way other rooms in the Ibates house felt unsure of what to make of it. Ronald didn't really know what to do, and felt confident that she would tell him if there were any real problems. But he learned to regret that decision. Then he noticed something that had sirens blaring in his mind. Rachel was now on summer break, and with temperatures 90 degrees, she started wearing clothes that revealed her legs. Ronald immediately noticed the marks on her legs and again asked her about it. She just looked down at her feet and said that she had woken up with them. Ronald had a bad feeling that just wouldn't go away. Anyone looking at the family from the outside would probably say that things were perfect. Ronald and Emma were happy, and he had a great daughter, Rachel. But everything changed abruptly. One day, Ronald was woken up in the middle of the night by disturbing sounds, Rachel herself would eventually be the proof that would solve this mystery once and for all. Unable to fall asleep after hearing the disturbing sounds, Ronald decided to investigate further. He headed towards Rachel's room, and upon entering, he found her screaming and thrashing around on her bed. He tried to calm her down, but she kept insisting that something was hurting her. Ronald quickly turned on the lights and noticed deep scratches on Rachel's arms and legs. Emma and Ronald rushed Rachel to the hospital. The doctors were unable to find any medical reason for her injuries and suggested that they might have been self-inflicted. However, Ronald knew his daughter better than anyone else. As he was sure that Rachel was not the cause of her injuries, the concerned parents began to suspect that something paranormal was happening in their home. As the days passed, more strange noises continued to wake the family up at night. Ronald decided to reach out to a paranormal investigation team for help. The team investigated the home and confirmed that there was no malevolent presence in the house. As the summer approached, Rachel went off to summer camp, but the issue of the unexplained marks on her legs did not go away. And in fact, the camp teachers also noticed the bruises and became concerned. They contacted Child Services and reported their observations. Ronald was shocked when Child Services showed up at his door, but ultimately understood their concerns. They conducted an investigation, and Ronald cooperated, fully hoping to clear up any misunderstandings and protect his daughter's well-being during the visit from Child Services. Ronald was understandably nervous. However, he answered all of their questions honestly and provided them with all the information they requested. They inspected Rachel's bedroom and took pictures of her bruises. Ronald explained that he had also set up cameras in the house to try and figure out what was causing the bruises, but nothing had been captured. The Child Services officers also interviewed Emma and Rachel separately to get their perspectives on the situation. After the investigation, they concluded that there was no evidence of abuse or neglect, but they did recommend that Ronald take Rachel to a pediatrician for further medical evaluation. As the investigation continued, more disturbing information came to light. Rachel's physical symptoms were not the only cause for concern. Her behavior had also changed dramatically, as she often just stared ahead, smacked her lips, and was often not aware of her surroundings. Ronald had set up the camera in Rachel's room to gather evidence of what was causing her strange behavior at night. It wasn't until one day that the footage revealed something extremely disturbing. In the middle of the night, Rachel was seen making violent movements and crawling backward, which explained the bruises on her body. The sight was so unsettling that it could make anyone think she was possessed. The footage captured her flailing arms, ring body, and wild eyes, making it clear that something was deeply wrong. As unsettling as the footage was, it offered no clear answers about what was causing Rachel's behavior. Ronald was shocked by what he saw and found himself unsure of what to do next. Determined to find an explanation, he decided to take Rachel to a doctor for a thorough evaluation. After months of carefully observing his daughter, Ronald shared everything with the doctor. Following a series of tests, the doctor diagnosed Rachel with temporal lobe epilepsy, a neurological condition that can trigger seizures. He explained that her seizures were likely caused by abnormal electrical activity in the temporal lobe, the part of the brain responsible for processing emotions and memories. Although the news was concerning, it also brought a sense of relief to Ronald and Rachel. They finally had an explanation for her unusual movements and behavior. With a clear understanding of the cause, they can now focus on treatment and managing the condition. Leaving the doctor's office, they felt reassured, ready to work together to find the best path forward. I'm really keen to know your thoughts on this story, so please don't hesitate to share your insights in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and found it engaging, I invite you to subscribe to our channel for more similar content. Feel free to share this video. Take good care of yourselves, and I'm excited to connect with you in our future videos. Let us know what you think about this story, and don't forget to share it with your friends. It might inspire them and brighten their day.